Sound speed. Okay. Podcast episode 17, take 1. I've lost you already. It's pretty early for that. Usually takes 15 minutes at least.
Really? You think I'd just go away in 15 minutes?
No, but what's up?
Nothing. I'm just reading about this woman.
Do you want to explain to me what's happening? Because you've refused to tell me so far.
Have you seen this video of this woman who's like yelling that?
No.
Okay. Wow.
Do you want to show me or no?
Yeah, it's really hard for me to speak and read at the same time. So why don't you just like explain what your day was like today?
I woke up today. No, this is so boring. We're just going to watch you read.
Okay. Hi, we're going to restart that over because Aaron is clearly not interesting by himself.
Okay, and...
You didn't want to start there because you didn't want me to be mean in the beginning? Are you crying?
No.
A little?
No.
Why are there tears in your
Just go
eyes?
again. Just go again.
Okay, so basically, I actually saw this video on Spanish TikTok like 2 weeks ago. And it's an English video. But this woman, she is at the back of a plane, right? Okay, so she's sitting in the plane.
Nothing goes on good in the back of a plane.
And, well, I always get the friggin' last seat. And honestly, I don't mind the back of the plane. Because then you can kind of just chill out. And you don't have to worry about stepping over people, that sort of thing. You're right next to the bathrooms. Anyway, she gets up and she starts walking to the front of the plane right before they take off. And she's screaming like, that is not real. He's not real. And I am not leaving this plane. I am not taking off in this plane because this plane is not going to get to this destination. It's not going to get to its destination.
Was there anyone sitting back there or no?
There was, but I don't even know. I'm scared. What?
No, like, was she pointing at a person?
Oh, you thought it was a racist thing.
Perhaps. I don't know.
That's immediately what you thought.
Yeah, absolutely. That's typically how these things go.
It looked like a white guy.
She was pointing at a man and saying, he's not here. Could everyone else see him?
Wait. I interpreted it really differently, but now that you're making it a race thing, like, fuck.
Should I even
continue with my story?
I literally have not seen the video.
No one. He's not in the video. He's not there.
So there's no one there.
I don't know. I don't see where her finger is pointing. They didn't show that. Don't you think they would report on that if it was a race thing? Fuck, but now you're scaring me.
I don't think it's actually a race thing. I was just confused because I haven't seen... Can I see the video? Can you show it to me?
Sure.
I just want to see what's going on because
It's on Daily Mail, so
of course, so it's the best news on the planet.
I actually heard it on Spanish TikTok.
Oh, even better.
Look.
For me, it's Daily Mail and Spanish TikTok.
No, this one's not Spanish TikTok.
Oh, she's having a hard day. Do we pan there? Oh, she's having trouble.
You think that...
Do we see the person?
No.
So what's the context? Like, we think that there's a ghost back there? Is that the thing?
So when I saw it on Spanish TikTok, because like, I think the thing about like American TikTok this is also what I've interpreted, and my Spanish isn't super good, is that you just have to have cold-hearted facts, right? But in Spanish TikTok, like, there are such thing as ghosts.
Right.
And there are such things as like, how do you spiritually manifest these sorts of things?
Right. It's like the ghouls, the witches.
It's real in Spanish TikTok. So when I first saw it, I was like, it's like this woman sees a ghost on a plane and has to leave. And it's like this eerie music and it's all in Spanish. And then she starts screaming. That's where I first saw the video. And I was like, who is she seeing on this plane? And then I saw it on Daily Mail 2 weeks later, late to the game. Clearly, they don't have anything to post about. And the way that they reported it was kind of just they stated what happened.
Do they show...
So apparently she was like having a fight with her relative because she thought that her relative stole her AirPod.
Okay. Rough start.
Which was the funniest part of the story to me.
Yeah.
And then she just like started screaming that this person wasn't real and the plane wasn't going to land.
Another person.
Yeah, another person.
That's crazy.
Aaron.
What do you mean,
you
Aaron?
You like give looks, but you don't say what you're thinking.
No,
and
I'm
it's just kind of rude.
I don't know how to feel about that. I literally have no idea how to feel about that. So she's pointing at another there has to be more to this story.
And then there was this one man on TikTok that I found on TikTok.
Okay.
And he was like, I was on that plane. And I was
of course he was on that fucking plane.
And I was listening to
I'm the man.
And I was listening to a Stephen King audiobook.
I hope
I turned around and I saw the guy wink at me.
What a fucking idiot.
But he winked in 2 different directions. I didn't even think there was a guy. Like, I thought she was making it up in her head that there was a person there. I didn't realize that there was actually a person there when I saw the Spanish one.
But we don't... no one zoomed in.
No one sees the person.
Oh.
So she could have been making up a person. There could have been an actual person. But then I think they would have described the person in the
yeah.
article.
So she's having a break. Clearly, she's just having a mental breakdown.
And yeah.
Poor girl. Hope she's okay.
But it is kind of scary.
Maybe
like,
she's got
I would not want to be on that plane after that woman screamed that. Like, I would leave. Would you leave? You would stay on the plane.
Yeah, of course.
Would you stay on the plane?
If she leaves, then yeah, I'm staying on the plane. That's a psycho. You don't want to be in the sky with those people.
No, I wouldn't want to be in the sky with her. But after she's like screaming, if there was really no one on the plane, okay?
Yeah.
If there was no one there and
Okay.
she was screaming at like a blank seat, like that motherfucker's not real. Oh no.
You're getting off the plane.
I'm getting off the plane. Like there's no way that I'm staying on that plane.
Yeah.
But I thought about this the other day actually when I was, I was having a tiff with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And during like, sometimes I have an out of body experience when I'm fighting with someone where I'm like, I've gone too far.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that this is too far, but I've already gone this far. So I'm going to commit and go further. And I know that it's wrong and I know that it's messed up. And I wonder if she thought that in her head during the AirPod fight.
So she was like, what I need to do now.
So I think she was like,
That's a crazy...
Because I think that people get embarrassed when they fight, right? They get a little embarrassed.
Yes.
And then they get worse.
Right.
Like some people react by just shutting down and me like, shut up. But some people react by exploding even more.
Right.
And then their little spirit floats away from their body and they disassociate.
And you're in a public place and then you're about to be in the sky. You got to behave yourself in the sky.
Exactly.
Because things have gone wrong there before.
Aaron, you're being gross today.
Okay.
Do you know that? Are you okay?
Yeah. What the fuck? Continue.
Anyway, what was I even saying? Like, I've been at that point.
Sure.
Not that far.
Yeah.
Never that far.
Yeah.
But I have been at like certain points where I'm like, I'm just gonna scream because I'm this far gone already. Might as well come.
That's great. That's wild.
Like, I wonder if she felt that way, and I wonder if
Clearly
I would
she
ever
felt
have
that
a
way.
mental breakdown.
Although
That's truly though. That's what people call a mental breakdown.
Yes.
And that's definitely what I've had before.
Although that is like, honestly, like that's a really good alternative way to win an argument with your sibling. Because at first it's like, maybe your sibling took her a pair of AirPods. That's something you get upset about. Took my AirPods.
This is something that would happen with me and Trace and Lila.
You always take my AirPods. You always, and this would be you. You would be the woman. They would be the two of them on the cart.
Because she was like on the brink of tears. Like, and Trace and Lila would be like poking at me, poking at me. And then my family would be like,
these are,
well, why are you being so fucking dramatic?
well, they would be like, these aren't your AirPods. You don't even have like they would say like, you don't even have ears. You know, they would say something crazy like that.
And that's a crazy thing. They would never say that.
You can't even listen.
Yeah.
You know?
And then I would go crazy.
And then you would be like, they're not real. I'm seeing things. And then you would scream. And then you get kicked off the plane.
Yeah.
And then they would have to deal with that.
That's just a crazy thing.
You technically do win the argument that way.
But you don't, because then you feel evil. Like, there was one point when I was fighting with my family this weekend where I just kept saying, yeah, I'm an evil person. I'm evil.
Holy shit.
Like, I kept, and you know what? I really believed it in that moment. I was like, I'm a bad person.
You're Joker.
Joker's not a bad person.
He's pretty bad.
But he's conflicted.
What do you mean? He's pretty devoted to chaos.
Well, I didn't watch the Joker movie, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a big Joker person.
Yeah.
He's the most interesting superhero to me, I guess. But
well, people like him because he's like crazy, but
he's fun. He's like a fun role to play. Like,
yeah,
I
likes
think
to fuck his mom or something. Is that his thing?
Aaron, you made that up.
Okay.
No, you fully made that up.
No. Anyway.
That's actually an Egyptian god.
What?
Yeah, I forget his name. His name starts with a G.
G.
Anyway, he raped his mother. Yeah, and I had to do a project on him in the 6th grade.
What was the project? What did you?
It was like I had a report on him, and like that's all I could remember, because when you study like Greek, Egyptian, Roman gods, they all
There's
just
a lot of
rape
that.
each other.
There's a lot of that going on.
Just rape.
They
and
would
it's
literally.
Like, you don't even talk about it in school. You're just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then he raped 5 women and had the deities for a lifetime. Like,
yeah. It's pretty wild. Yeah, they would literally like there would be born babies, and if they didn't like them, they would just like punt them into canyons.
really?
Yeah.
Well, what?
No remorse. Or they'd eat their babies.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they would. They would totally eat babies.
In Egypt?
In Rome.
You be careful what you say here.
But the Romans are gonna get offended by this?
I don't know. They're Italian now.
True. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
You
Hey!
better watch out.
I was walking by.
Wait. There was a moment on my trip or something where my dad like said something about my mom wanting like a good Italian man.
Ooh.
Like he said something about it.
Oh.
I just wanted to bring that up to you.
See your mom have dabbling in the Italian.
I
prior.
think my mom's like only dated Irish men. I think she's only dated white men. That's my belief.
Italians are definitely white.
I know, but they're like a little spicier. Like she doesn't think my dad. I think Greeks are spicier than Italians.
Well, they're
even.
like Mediterranean.
Yeah, they're like something.
Yeah.
Like they could be
It's
ethnically
like-
ambiguous.
It's like their Caesar salad, but when you get the Mediterranean salad, you're a little bit like, whoa.
Yeah, you're
craving
like,
something
what's
else.
This feta?
Feta?
Feta.
Some balsamic vinegar.
Some extra virgin olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was walking by,
Mitch.
and they have like the umbrella
aren't we
tulip.
not supposed to say where we live?
Well, now you just gave it away because.
Fuck. We don't live there. Why are you mad at me today?
It's the time 13. Okay. So I was walking by the Italian restaurant, and the umbrellas, like they have like umbrellas outside because they have outdoor seating. And then I was walking past, and one of the umbrellas was just like a little low, and it like took off my hat because it was so low. It like swung down, and then it hit me in the head. And then my hat like fell off, and like I did a little like trying to get my hat back thing, and then it fell on the floor. And of course, like at that specific spot, I don't know, like the Italian American community is not very prominent in Los Angeles.
I feel like there is an Italian restaurant, like 2 Italian restaurants per block in our neighborhood.
Sure, but
You
that's
don't
true.
think the Italian community is present wherever you go?
No, but what I'm saying is like it's specifically in that spot. Suddenly there were like 20 Italians laughing at me and then speaking in Italian. Someone was like, "He's a fucking idiot," and then I walked past them.
They
They were
to
all
that restaurant.
laughing over pasta at me.
Oh,
Anyway,
that sounds so nice. I wish I was with them.
no, you know, it was funny not to be in that, but to watch it. I'm sure.
Did you feel ashamed?
I totally understood.
You just accepted it.
Yeah, it was fine.
Well, that's
moved on.
interesting.
But yeah, that was my recent thing. Anyway, what the fuck? Yeah, no. Screaming on a plane is crazy. Screaming on a plane is about the craziest thing you can do publicly because people are already nervous. On
People feel
planes.
trapped. People,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
there's no escape. There's no way to exit.
I don't know if I would like start recording them though.
Recording people is a crazy thing that we've begun to do.
But it's just a very common thing.
It's common, and there are certain instances where obviously you're going to want to record things and people, but I feel like, you know, my credit card, like there's a certain percentage of people, it's like, you know, someone who lives in like Silver Lake, like their credit card isn't working, and the employee is like, I'm sorry, we don't accept like Amex, and they're like, say that again. You know, and then they post it online. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a certain brand.
That's because influencers live in LA and they're just trying to get as many views as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like people's natural inclination to like just before it used to be, oh, there's potentially an injustice happening. We're filming it to shed light on it. You know, that was the initial, like, that's how like journalism started.
Mm-hmm.
And then it progressed into like, oh, we're going to like photographers will go out and like, there's like journalism photography, and that became like a whole thing in like the 80s and 70s, you know? And then
wait, photojournalism you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, great. No, glad we clarified that. And then once like phones became popular, we started like filming things that, you know, we started taking photos of us at the beach or on vacation. And then we now start to just film things as we see fit. And then now it's just turned into like whenever something doesn't go our way.
But I think there's still a faux pas around it. Like I don't, even in LA, I feel like when people are like taking out their camera, like it is more of a common thing to film yourself doing stuff in LA, but
filming yourself is fine. Filming other people.
No, but I've never seen actually that happen. I see it posted all over the place.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually witnessed someone doing that.
That's true. That's fair.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Like, okay. I think it would be looked down on if you did that, especially not here. Like, I guess LA is more common.
Perhaps.
But
yeah,
if I just saw someone whip out their phone and film someone, like, I'd be like,
Jesus Christ.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess there's like gym videos. You could do that.
Yeah. Like when those boys cornered you in the gym, you were having already a terrible day. And then these boys. I was
feeling so ugly that day.
Little boys.
They were clearly like influencer types, you know?
Well, yeah.
They had like a full camera setup. And of course.
No, they just had their phones, right? Or did they have cameras?
They had like a stand or something.
Yeah, they had a stand. They had a phone stand.
They had a stand, and
Fucking
I was
nuts.
doing Bulgarian squats. And for some reason, like something always happens to me when I do Bulgarian squats.
Yeah.
Like that's, I
Remind
think it's
me, what is
because
that again?
It's when you put your foot on the bench and you're like doing the squats but one-legged and you're holding the weights in front of you. And I think it's just because my booty's getting so big in that moment that like it just attracts crazy energy.
It dispels.
It's just too much for people to handle.
Sure.
And so I was trying to do it in the corner. I like to do it in the corner because I don't, you know.
You need to hide. If you do it in the center of the room, it's going to.
You're going to fall over is genuinely what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I was doing it in the corner, like just by myself. And these guys start putting like their stand right next to me and filming themselves lifting. And I'm like.
No, but they were like so close to you. Like it's not like they were like even 2 feet away. No. They were like within a foot.
That's probably the closest I've ever gotten to seeing someone with a camera in their face.
They were and were they doing dances or?
No, they were just working out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I saw them like they were like.
But it was also clear like, you know, there was someone filming themselves yesterday when I went to the gym. And they were like putting their phone down.
That's
by
totally
the thing.
Fine.
And you could tell that they were actually like filming their workout. Like they were there for a while. They were working out for a while, changing their weight.
No issue with that.
And what they were doing, the interesting part was that they were just not actually working out.
No, they were literally there for 5 minutes. They put their phone up, and then they would like stick their bicep in the camera. They would touch each other. And then they would just like flex their muscles while touching each other.
Right.
And then they would put it down. And then they would leave.
Yeah.
And then they left. They did that for 5 minutes and then they left.
I mean, at least they're only doing it for 5 minutes, right?
You know, they just went so close to you. But it makes sense because people who do that,
But I think you have to have this like.
you have a lack of.
But
Just-
if you are posting,
First of all, there's nothing going up
if
here.
you're posting videos genuinely and like
Yeah.
this is your career
Yeah.
and you're trying to get as most views as possible, you have to have no
You're
fear.
sick. You're sick.
No. But that's a career. That's a valid career. You have to like, be kind of aggressive.
I think, but that wasn't even like to me aggressive. That was just like, no.
It was a little rude. Like I was the one who experienced it. It was
Yeah.
a little fucking rude.
Yeah, I
But
saw that. You were already having not a great day to begin with.
why was I having a bad day? Because I felt ugly.
No,
Probably.
I just think you just weren't having a good day. I don't remember exactly why, but I remember you were just like you were feeling more. No, you were feeling just disturbed by LA in general, just because of people like that,
no,
and then that
because of
happened.
LA is just. It's unlike any other place that I've been to. And I
Totally.
think it's where I work. I genuinely think it is where I work because even going to the gym, which is like a 15-minute drive away from our neighborhood, I do feel like it's different people.
I think that also, unlike New York, for example, Chicago, for example, other sort of cities, I wouldn't even say LA is like a true city, but those cities, people are like from there. Not that people are like from there no matter where you go. And it's like if you move to that big city, you are becoming an extension of that city's like personality. And that personality, like it might have changed, blah, blah, blah. I know neighborhoods change or whatever. But, New York is still always New York. And when you go there, like you are becoming a part of that. With fucking Los Angeles, I'd say the majority of people here are not from here. And it's like people moving here with a very specific intention. And I feel like that intention has changed to like,
Being an influencer.
I want to touch my friend's butt at the gym and then flex in front of a camera.
Yeah. I don't know. There was this one guy I did a play with.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually really sexist.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't believe in Me Too. Anyway.
He said that. I don't believe in Me Too.
He said something along the lines of like...
And walked away. Sorry. Oh.
He said something along the lines of how because of the feminist movement, and I think it was Me Too at the time, women have completely taken away man's masculinity and men just can't do anything anymore. Something like that. And I was young, and honestly, this makes me sad about myself because you like think that I'm like this crazy girl who'd speak up for herself, but I'm not. Like, unfortunately, in the presence of men, I'm a people pleaser. And it's really disturbing to me.
Right.
And I notice it more and more.
Right.
And I literally just didn't say anything. That was so lame of me.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, he told me not to move to LA. He was like, whatever you do, don't move to LA, move to New York. Because LA is just like a bunch of people out there trying to make it, and you'll have a better, easier time in New York because it's a smaller market or something, which I don't think he actually knew what he was talking about, and I clocked that from the beginning. Yeah. Which is why I ended up moving to LA. Not why, but
because of that exact moment.
Take his advice. But I don't know. Like you said, the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
And even like going home to San Francisco, like I'm always like, oh, I wish I lived in San Francisco. And then I go home and I'm like, but
Maybe
I don't know.
not right now.
I don't know if there's ever a time that I'm like, I wish I lived in LA. Maybe when we visited here. When we first visited here, I really liked it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anyone who has like aspirations in entertainment is like, I want to move to Los Angeles for the city. It's because
I don't know. It's just like, the
city's fucking crazy.
It's like an extension, like not to sound pretentious, of a BFA program. Like when we went to school for BFA, everyone was the best out of the best from their high school, and they really thought they were all the best. And like if you move to LA, Like, you think you're very pretty, you think you're very talented, and you are very pretty and talented. Like,
Thank you.
and so, you know, there's a lot more people like that.
Sure.
But I do think for my personal self-confidence, it has plummeted since going to BFA, and it has plummeted further since coming to LA.
That's fair. I do, although you told me something last night, which was totally absurd. And I've been literally clocking it. Like, I went for a run and I was clocking it. I went to coffee, clocked it. 0, like, you are batting 1,000 still. Sophia said that in Los Angeles, she falls in the 50th percentile of attractiveness, which is a fucking absurd thing to say. Just like in general.
You know what I feel when you say that?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh my God, he's obsessed with me.
No, that is just ridiculous.
I don't think it is.
You think
though.
you think you are uglier than half of people who exist in Los Angeles.
I think half of people are more attractive than me. Look,
That's
I'm looking glass
crazy.
half full. I'm not looking glass half empty here.
No, I literally was out in runs. I was like, they're ugly. They suck.
That's mean.
Sophia's
no,
pretty
but
than
even like my friend who's from New York, she was saying what I miss about New York is ugly people.
People are good looking in New York. I prefer.
You prefer a little grime on someone.
Yes.
But there's grime in this neighborhood.
Man,
like,
shot at. Oh, okay, that's not here. Oh, it is here. Yeah, whatever.
Wait, what?
Nothing. It's further down. Yes. No, people are fucking grimy here. I can.
No, but everyone here, they have a specific like look to them, and I also think it's a fashion sense that I don't have here. I think I would fit in better with the fashion in New York. Not that I have fashion, like I am wearing like workout clothes every day.
People try on the East Coast. There's a cultural difference.
But I think that you can like have a style that doesn't necessarily equate like I don't know how to describe it.
I think like there's a significant cultural difference between East and West Coast. Just like, for example, on the East Coast, if you go to work, you're going to go in a suit and tie.
And you're going to dress up a
And
bit.
you're gonna
And I
dress
think
up.
I'm better at that sort of fashion.
Right.
But in LA, it's like...
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
go to work in jeans and a t-shirt.
Have you come... have you familiarized yourself with like the clean girl aesthetic?
No.
So it's like... I feel like it's a very influencer thing. And it's also like a lot of white influencers use it now, but they've said like they're very much taking it from people of color who started that. But it's like, you know, the slicked back hair, the like simple gold jewelry.
Yes.
Clean girl aesthetic.
Right,
like
right.
the monotone matching.
Right.
You know, I think that's more like white girl aesthetic, like the monotone matching.
Like Anthropology.
Like, no.
Oh, never mind.
Like matching sets. I don't know how to describe it.
I think
but it's
I know.
it's like a clean yoga girl like
Oh, okay.
look,
So
I feel like that's very
Adjacent.
LA.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and
yes.
I just don't feel like I have that aesthetic. Like
I think you could if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I don't think it goes with my personality.
Sure.
Like, bring back the messy girl aesthetic.
You're
That's
not messy.
me.
You're not
I'm
messy.
a messy girl, but like in a fun way, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
Like curly hair, like running through the streets.
Right. Walking, not running.
I tried running yesterday and it was awful and I ran for 5 minutes and that's it. Not even.
No, you went around the block and you went, Aaron, no.
No. Anyway, yeah.
It's fine. You don't need to.
But I also think I'm romanticizing New York because I don't live there.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I'm sure people that we know who've moved to New York come to LA because they're like, New York is awful. You can't make it there. You have to be in LA.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, the grass is always greener.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've realized that now, and I just need to accept it.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it's always better from
But I will say that like I think San Francisco's culture has totally changed. I think the people there have totally changed.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what you were saying about when you move to a city and you sort of become an extension of that city. I don't know, maybe it's because I grew up in San Francisco, but I feel like
I think that's
what people think the extension of the city is very different from what it's
That makes
come
sense. Well,
to
because
be.
well, I mean, San Francisco's changed dramatically, in part by, and I mean mostly by just tech in general. It's changed the
Mhm.
city completely. What I mean about Los Angeles is like people have collectively moved with a certain like intention in mind, and people have moved to the city and collectively changed it. For
I think also like
I don't
LA.
think you could do
Yeah.
that for a place like New York. I think there's just too many people live
No.
there. And it's so concentrated that you become washed over by what it is. And, I'm not saying that certain areas of New York haven't changed or aren't undergoing change, because they are, but I think that you still feel that when you're there. And here it's like people want $6 cold brews
Do
and are
you
good with that.
think that your dad would ever move back there?
No. They couldn't
He
do
kind of
winter.
wants to.
They would love to be there for like summer, fall, but
Did
they
he
couldn't do
like
winter.
growing up there? Like,
Yeah.
he loves New York.
Yeah.
Like, that's his ride or die place.
Yeah.
Then why wouldn't he go back?
Well, first of all, he doesn't really have family there as much anymore. Like the roots
Yeah.
there aren't there.
I guess honestly, if I didn't have family anymore in San Francisco, I couldn't go back there. Like,
Yeah.
I think that would be really sad for me.
Yeah, like if your family all wasn't rooted there. Like he still has family there, but no one he's close to. Like some cousins or
Yeah,
something.
but like, I couldn't imagine San Francisco without my parents and siblings, and that's
Sure.
probably how he feels.
Yeah, and like he likes it. He loves it there. But also like winters, they don't want to do. They're done with winters.
Because they've always experienced it their whole lives.
What?
Your parents?
They just
They
don't want
live in
to.
Hawaii.
Yeah, so they don't want
have
to.
winters there.
What? No, but
You're
they
like,
don't
they're
want.
done with winters. They haven't even had winters.
Meaning.
Bro, why do you look like you're about to snap me?
No, I'm just trying to explain.
Like, why are you so annoyed with me today?
I'm not
Is
annoyed
it-
with you at all.
What am I doing?
No, you're great. You're doing great. You look great.
What's wrong?
Nothing is wrong. I'm just trying to explain. There are no winters there, which is in part why, like, a lot of times when like people get older and they live in cold places, they have like a summer or they have like a winter home in like Florida or something.
Mm-hmm.
For the reason that they don't want to live in that city in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll go back in the summer because it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they'd feel about New York. They wouldn't want to be there in the winter because cold, not fun.
I get it. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I didn't mean to be.
You're fine. Anyway, what other news has been going on?
Yeah, no, I feel well. You didn't finish what happened what happened yesterday at the gym, which I thought was great.
What I told you before.
Yeah.
Well, this honestly wasn't as good of a story because I'm not telling it to you fresh. But basically, I think Aaron wanted me to share this with you because it kind of has to do with him. But this guy approached me at the gym yesterday and asked me. He was like, I have a question for you?" And you can tell
And
that, like,
you were in your
literally, I was doing Bulgarian squats. The only time that people approach me at the gym is when I'm doing Bulgarian squats and I'm literally like about to throw up. And at this point, I really was like, the room was spinning. I could only do 8. I usually do 10 and I usually nail them, but I was shaking and about to throw up, and that's why I stopped. And he walked over to me and he was like, "Hey, I have a question for you." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm taking up way too much space. Like, I need to move. Like, people are needing this equipment. Like, I'm such a big girl." And he's such a little guy.
What?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Why are you being so rude to me today?
Oh.
No, like, it's kind of annoying me.
Am I being rude?
You're being like kind of an asshole. A little bit.
Sorry. I love you.
No, like, I'm not really okay with it.
Okay, I'll stop.
No, it's fine if you don't want to stop, but like, just tell me why.
I'm not trying to be.
No, if you have something to say, then say it.
I'm doing great. This is going great, I thought.
Anyway, he comes up to me and he's like, "I have a question for you." And I was like, "Okay." And then he was like, Are you still dating that Asian guy?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Then what did he say?
like, oh yeah, like I saw you guys walk in together. And let me remind you that Aaron hasn't gone to the gym with me in months.
It's been maybe 2 months.
It's been months. So he's been watching me for months. I've never seen this guy at the gym.
Man. Really? Like, you don't recognize him
I didn't
at
recognize him at all.
Wow.
At all.
Oh, so he's been like, I see her. No tiny Asian boy.
No, but like, okay, here's what I thought to myself after the interaction. I was like, damn, Sophia, like you've gotten really good at telling people that you have a boyfriend. And you used to be mean in your first interaction at the gym, but you're starting to be really nice and like confident. But I did tell him, I was like, yeah, my boyfriend doesn't like coming to the gym.
Just fucking dragged the shit out of me. My Asian boyfriend. Did you say Asian boyfriend? Yeah, my Asian boyfriend. My tiny Asian boyfriend.
And then I thought to myself, I was like, oh, I was just mean to Aaron in that moment, like behind his back, because I was nervous instead of being mean to this person or myself.
That's okay.
Which is usually what I do. But I was like, you just have to see, I'm at the point where I'm bullying you in front of people, but like I have to get past that point. So I think it'll take like 2 more random.
You should have just went, because he didn't say anything bad, but he was like towing a line of something.
Well, it was just
so
a crazy thing to...
Yeah, that's just wild. So you could have just went with that and made him uncomfortable.
Like how?
Like, I don't know. Yeah, my boyfriend, my Asian boyfriend, he doesn't like coming to the gym with me. Yeah, he just loves Panda Express. He's so tired. He's so tired. He does so much. He's so tired. He does so much karate. So much karate. And then just go right back to squatting.
Well, then I did. And then I was like,
Oh.
Like I'll literally drop a weight in front of someone and be like, I've
heard that.
Well, my mom, like I used to work out with my mom and my abuelita at the gym. And my abuelita's like really getting back to it. She's going to the Y, like Pilates twice a week, swim strength class twice a week. Like she's really trying to go 5 days a week.
That's great.
And she could lift heavier than me when we all started together. We would go to the gym together for half an hour. And we had this trainer who my mom told me not to tell my dad about.
Wait, what?
Not because it was like sus or anything, but because my dad
Don't tell your father about this trainer.
Yeah, like I don't think she wanted him to know that.
Was he Italian?
No.
Oh.
I was gonna say he was so white, but I forget that Italians are white too. But I think it's just because my dad is like, I don't know how to describe this about my parents, and I think my mom is actually more so this way than my dad. But like spending money on any sort of luxury is like looked down on.
Oh, it was more of a spending thing?
Yeah. I think it was like, why are you spending money to do this when you could just do it yourself?
Okay.
Like I think my mom and dad would like make fun of someone for having a trainer.
Oh, weird.
Because it's like a weird luxury expense.
Makes sense.
You know, like even workout classes, like my mom won't do.
Right. I mean, they're expensive, so I understand it from that standpoint. But like, you'll get a significantly better workout if you're like. Obviously.
I agree, and there was 3 of us, and he was doing it at a discounted rate.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have to sell me on this deal. Aaron, it was a fantastic deal. You don't understand. Right? It was a 3-person session. He was only charging us for 2. He gave a class on the spot. 6-month sessions. He only charges for 4 months. I don't care. I'll even take a young one.
But he was.
Whatever I can do to get the best deal, Aaron.
Anyway, where was I going with this? About my abuelita. I was gonna say something about her.
She's really strong, stronger than you. Going to the gym. She's YMCA.
No.
5 times a week.
It was something to do with the gym, and I forgot. Fuck. But I would go like twice a week with them. This is when I first started lifting, and I was really out of shape. Mm-hmm. And there was one point where I hadn't gone because I would only go on my breaks. During my breaks.
You were working?
No, I was at school. So it would only go during like,
during
summer
school break.
vacation or winter
Right.
vacation. And there was one time I came back, like I think it was during winter,
Mm-hmm.
and he had us, and it was only 30 minutes that we were working out, right?
Yeah.
And I had to go sit in the bathroom because I was about to throw up. Like I could not do the workouts. I couldn't do them.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I just wanted to admit that.
Great.
But yeah, we were like kind of tight. My abuelita would have us hug him at the end of every session.
Oh, like sweaty too?
I was sweaty.
Like a sweaty hug?
But like she would make us
I feel
hug.
very uncomfortable if I've been like I ran today after. I felt very uncomfortable. Not even like I didn't touch anyone, but I felt uncomfortable being around people who weren't sweating. I was really sweaty and I was in that
I
coffee
get that
shop.
way too. Yeah, I get that.
Oh, okay. But you gave him a hug.
Well, because my abuelita would be like in front of us, give him a hug.
Whoa. Okay. Thanks.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
But it's just like a warm thing. But he wasn't.
Yeah.
I could tell like that wasn't part of his culture. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, he used to be an actor too. He's actually a great guy.
Nice. Hope he's doing well.
He doesn't respond to my mom anymore, but
Oh. So maybe there was an alternative reason.
I think we were paying him too little.
Oh. That's also probably more. It's probably more realistic.
I really wanted to know what I was gonna say, but I totally forgot.
Well, if it comes up, you know where to find me.
Yeah. But that was the story with that guy and how he asked me if I still have my Asian boyfriend.
Right.
Which means that, people might be keeping tabs on me
And like at least remembering my ethnicity.
yeah, that was nice of him.
Just thoughtful.
Yeah. That was so sweet.
Yeah. That's good. Then
Yeah.
be like that's funny.
I don't know if there's any other news. Like I really want to remember what I was gonna say, but I totally blanked.
The Barbie movie was good. Did you have a good time at that?
I did. I don't think my sister and mom liked it.
Why?
It kind of hurt my feelings.
Why not?
They wanted it to be more about Barbie and Barbie World. Like they didn't like the Will Ferrell part.
Okay.
Like they just wanted it to be more about her life.
They wanted like, I have been talking about Joker a lot, but they wanted like an origin story.
I kind of would have liked that too. I thought it was a super fun movie though.
Yeah, it was fun.
I think what they should do though, like, do you remember?
I felt like I've thought about it. I feel like those first 20 minutes were strong and they set up the thing pretty well. Like there were some good bits.
The dance numbers were incredible.
Dancing was great. Like the fact that like it's a Barbie and she's like, "Do you ever think about death?" Like that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like the setup was really strong. And then
see, the issue that my family had with it is that she couldn't swim in the pool.
What?
Yeah, they were like, Andreas was like, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, why can't she swim in the pool?
Huh?
Like, they didn't want it to be like toys. They wanted her to actually have orange juice come out of that container.
Oh, okay.
They were
but that's
really upset by that.
weird. How did they feel did your brother and dad see it?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay. Oh, your brother didn't see it though.
It is not like, I think it was a great movie, but the fact that like people are so upset about it, like it's really not revolutionary in any sort of way.
Well,
so
that's the thing.
it just, I don't even think Andreas and my dad would be shocked by it. Like I think they'd be maybe slightly uncomfortable by their masculinity, but like honestly, I think they'd enjoy it at this point.
Also, like it wasn't overly, especially like those first 20 minutes.
I even feel like a toxic, like conservative man could sit down and enjoy that movie.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, also like to be annoying about the fucking Barbie movie is insane because it's not like a movie that anyone asked for, Like no one asked for, what we need? We need a movie about Barbie. Like no one asked for that. So that when we heard it was happening, we were like, oh, interesting.
I asked for it. I wanted it.
You wanted it, but
Did you watch Barbie movies as a kid?
No,
Because
but
if you didn't, then you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, but what I'm saying is I don't think anyone was like 2-3 years ago was like we need like right now we need the Barbie movie. I don't think that people were doing that. So when
I guess so.
So when it was announced, I'm not saying people were
It
very
was
excited.
a pleasant surprise.
Right, but it was a
right.
holy fuck. So I'm just saying to be like a dickhead about it is kind of a lot. That being said, first 20 minutes, A+.
Well, honestly, the reason I think people were dickheads, and to be honest with you, I think it's because I only read Daily Mail, and I think Daily Mail is horribly transphobic. I think it's just a transphobic issue. Like, I think that people are just evil.
Which is crazy because you wouldn't even...
Like, I think that's literally the only reason why why conservatives were upset about it, because it wasn't even that feminist.
No.
Like,
it was like
it was just
super...
and I think that's why people were upset, and it's just like...
Because it...
Fucking bury your head in a hole, you ugly idiot.
Yeah, that's insane. It was like... And they didn't even... I don't know. I mean, the only thing that could have annoyed me is if they were like a little bit too... For example, like my only real like criticism of like the movie in general is like, they set up like this whole thing with the mother and daughter. Like this daughter is being...
Oh, yeah.
Like, right, exactly. Like, we forget about that. It's like this daughter is like having a really tough time in school. It turns out it's like the mother having a tough time raising her daughter.
That reminded me of my mom. Like, she would bring back Barbie because she was crying.
But, we kind of set that up, and then there's this like dissonance between her and her daughter. There's this emotional disconnect. I thought maybe the father wasn't going to be... But it turns out her family life is kind of just fine. So I was kind of confused by the vehicle for that. And then off screen, they just like resolve their relationship.
I think
and then everything's
what
good.
The movie was about, honestly, is just like a fun little time.
Right, of course.
And it felt more like a visually stimulating movie than anything else.
I thought it was going to be more of like a Inside Out thing.
Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
Inside Out, it kind of fills like she's having a tough time. It was basically Inside Out, but like a little bit less about
You
that.
thought the Barbies were going to help the humans more than the humans help the Barbies.
Yes. Because that's how they kind of
Because
set
that's
up
what toys do.
Right, that's what toys do, and that's how they kind of
Did
set
you
up the whole
have
thing.
like an emotional support toy as a child?
I had a blanket.
That's it? Did you play with toys? No. You don't.
Yeah, I did.
What kind?
I don't seem like... Yeah, you as a kid, you were not the type to play with toys. You just...
I feel
That's
like
like
you were
borderline telling a kid, you kind of just look like you were homeschooled. The most insulting thing you could say. You just don't look like a kid who played with toys. And you were probably homeschooled.
No, you just seem like a kid that played with video games.
Oh, okay. No, I played with toys.
What kinds?
I played with like the Toy Story toys. I think I had a Woody.
Oh, that's cute. Like a raggedy doll.
Mm-hmm.
Like a rag doll, Woody?
No, it was like a plastic Woody.
Oh.
Yeah. And then like toys like that.
So it was after the movies came out.
Yeah.
Were we a little older back then?
Shut the fuck up.
I still play with dolls.
Photos, I'm 15.
To this day, I still play with dolls.
No, I was probably like 8, 7.
Oh, that's little.
Is that too old? I thought you were going to be like, whoa.
Fuck.
I have no reference point. But definitely like before then I was playing with toys. I don't remember which ones though.
Because
Legos,
I
I'd liked,
vividly.
I guess.
Legos?
Kind of. Not like a ton,
I had a
but
Lego phase.
Mhm. They're fun.
But I was really... Andreas had monster trucks. And we actually went to the monster truck show together. Me, Andreas, and Estefan. And Estefan's dad told him, because he had this like creepy ass white van as a kid, Estefan. Like he'd always drive a white van.
Oh.
And there was this exact... So they like line up cars to be smashed by the monster trucks. Have you ever been to a monster truck show?
No.
It is a great time. It's a great time. So
it's a great time.
I was sitting there as my little self with my little earplugs in. And
how old?
I was so little.
Wow.
We were really little.
Man, you would not think...
For too little for Lila to go.
Wow. Okay. You would not think
so
like...
maybe like...
Meeting
maybe
you would not assume certain things about your upbringing.
That
you
I'm
know?
like a NASCAR girl. Like
That
that sort of
you
thing.
grew up going to First of all, grew up going to NASCAR. You grew up with just like this, like, I don't know, this kind of gritty city background.
What's funny is like when I was little, I really tried to embrace that. Like I felt like I wasn't enough of that. I think I've said that before. Like I was, I try to be a cool girl in that way.
But like, I'm gonna take us for a ride as we kind of explain what happened yesterday as a perfect example of this. So,
where are you going?
well, I'm gonna just take the camera for a second. Is this a bad idea? Should I not do this?
No, fucking do it. It's our podcast. Let us just do what we want. We're free.
That's true. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what Sophia did yesterday. That's a perfect example of her upbringing.
I'll keep talking. Yeah. So anyway, with the Estefan situation, his dad told him that the car that was exactly his car.
Wait, I should explain
what happened. Sorry.
So, what? Sure, you can go pee. We might hear you. No, just close the door. No. Okay, it's fine. We'll just do this really quick. So we got locked out yesterday. Wait, can you open up the shades real quick? That's the cat over there. This is a crazy interactive. We've never done anything like this before. Okay, so we're opening up the shades. So right outside, you see our lovely view. Right outside, we have a little tree. And I was an idiot yesterday and locked the door, and we got locked out of the apartment. And I was like, oh, we're going to have to call the locksmith. I was in a pretty bad mood. Wasn't I, Sophia? I was not okay. I was very upset that I did that. And Sophia and we can start to sit down now because they get the idea. But
they get the idea. So now I want to. Should I explain it from my perspective, or should you explain it from yours? Okay.
Explain what was bugging you.
So I just fell over. So let me just say this to you guys. This is what I discovered yesterday: is that Aaron is terribly inconvenienced by the immediate problems that we face in our life. So like, we can't find an apartment. His hair is shedding. He's a mess. He forgets the keys and locks us out. He feels that he has, and I know that this is what you were really upset about, which whatever, was that he would have to call our manager past hours and he'd have to inconvenience him. That's what he's very like crazy nervous about.
Well, also, no, well, I called him. It was also like the $150 for a locksmith for like a stupid thing.
So like, that's the thing. So Aaron's very concerned about the immediate problems. I'm concerned, as we all know from this podcast, the long-term future gives me serious anxiety attacks. And I think about it on a daily basis all the time, 24/7, 23/7. And
what are you doing in the other hour?
Okay. So Aaron was a mess. I had just finished work and I have started working double shifts on Monday and Tuesday. So I had worked 9 hours that day. I was ready to get home. We were going to podcast last night, maybe even have a little glass of wine, maybe like have some chocolate. I don't know. And Aaron's like, we're locked out. And I was more stressed out about his stress than us being locked out.
Yeah, you were fine. You were very nice about it.
Because that sort of stuff, like, I know it's going to work out.
And you had yes.
It's weird. Like, in those moments, I'm like, well, there's nothing we can do about it. I'm very calm in those moments, which is not like me in future, as I explained. So we get home. I'm like, okay, maybe we can just stay with the Stefan tonight. If worse comes to worse, like, it'll be totally fine. Aaron is pacing around the lobby.
About to call the emergency services of our...
We're like, do we try to...
apartment.
Do things? Like, what are we going to do? And I'm sitting there because my phone had died, with my phone plugged in at our little downstairs gym area. And my phone turns on, and then I'm like, you know what? We have a tree. And...
like a really small tree. It's basically like a big plant.
I thought to myself...
and we're on the second story.
Why don't I just... the tree is literally blocking our sunlight. It's there for a reason. And it's for this situation right now that we're in. And so...
and she's telling me this. She's like, Aaron, there's a tree outside.
I immediately picked up my phone. I was like, well, I know what to do.
And then she's like, I'm gonna climb it, and I was like, it's we're on the second story. It's not like a big tree that's made for it is a small tree. Maybe if you're over like 100 pounds and you put your weight on it, it would probably sway
Not if you
significantly.
know how to climb a tree, though.
So yeah, you're telling me it's also pitch black out.
Which I think helped because I couldn't see the ground.
You were doing that. You were like free solo.
Yeah.
I was fucking terrified.
I
watching
grew
you
up
go.
climbing trees.
So yeah, like you're like.
Like I remember one time when I was little, we dared my dad, and he was in his 40s at this point, to climb a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And we have these tall redwood trees in Sonoma, like really, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How many feet would you say they are? The
Yeah.
ones that line. How many feet? Many feet. Many feet.
Many
okay?
feet, at least 30 feet.
At least.
Probably
And
40.
I
Oh, no, that
watched
one?
my father.
That one's probably like 45, 50.
Yeah, it's so tall. He climbed the tallest one. So I was like, Dad, like I would get up maybe halfway and then I'd be too scared and I'd climb back down.
Yeah.
You know? And because there was this one branch which I could like jump up to, hang for a little bit, pull myself up, and then get to the midway. And then once I was at the midway, I was like, I can't go any further. I'm too scared. So I dared my dad to do it one time, and I watch him climb this tree, and I don't see him. I just hear branches breaking. I see the tree rustling.
This was me
And
last
my
night.
mom is screaming like, Chris, this isn't funny. Get down right now. Get down. And I see my dad's head pop up at the very tip of the tree. And in that moment, I'm not even kidding, my life changed. And I thought, I can do anything. Because my dad is at the top of that tree.
Right.
And he totally just did that to show me that he could.
That's insane.
And that's how I felt the moment that I found out that there was a tree next to our window. I was like, what would my dad do? He would climb that tree.
I don't know if you would do that today.
He would.
You think you would climb that tree?
I know he would climb.
That's the second story. You climbed like 20 feet.
Aaron, my dad's climbed way higher than that.
No, I understand. But like you had to leverage your back and like shimmy up the wall.
But it was a little bit easier.
And then you climbed on our balcony.
The thing about that tree though is there's not a lot of spaces between the branches. So actually it's harder to climb like a redwood tree because you're having to pull yourself up a little bit more. You're having to reach a little further.
I think that
was
really
just like
hard.
a little shimmy and a hop.
A little shimmy and a hop.
What made
But
me
then you had
nervous
to-
was the basil plant outside. And Aaron's like, he bought these new pots, which by the way, the basil is doing terrible.
It's dying.
We can't keep a plant alive and we really need to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like, how are we supposed to do that with a child?
I think basil's tough because it needs more sunlight. Anyway,
I see the basil plant, and at this moment, I'm like sandwiched between the tree and the balcony.
and I'm on the floor like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
And I'm like, that was the scariest part because I was like, I don't want to knock over this basil plant. So I just started moving them one by one. And
You did
Aaron was
so
like,
methodically.
knock it over. Just throw it.
Well, it's literally like, like, yeah. I mean, it was like it was like you were like fucking Mission Impossible or something. You were breaking into the safe. And you did so methodically. You shimmied up the tray. I didn't see you. And I was like, oh my God. Where is she? Is she falling? Is she okay? Because it's dark out. And then I see your head pop out. And then you are on the balcony. You're like, the basil plant. And then I'm like, knock it over. Just throw it away. And you were like, no. And then you're like, I'm in. And then I just heard it. And then you said, I'll see you inside. And then you just shut the door. And I was like, what the fuck? That was insane.
Well, Donna was like, she approached me. She thought I was an intruder and her tail was so bushy.
That was insane what you did. I mean, it was great. Like, I'm still very impressed by that. You climbed a building.
But you know what I felt when I did it?
What?
Like, clearly I've been a little bit depressed recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm obsessed with Desperate Housewives. I also think that might be a reason why I'm depressed because that's all I think about 24/7.
Yeah.
And the only thing I want to do is sit down and watch it and sit on the couch and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like giving me life. So anyway, I'll give a specific reference to a character, but this is a common TV or movie trope. Tom and Lynette, right? It's
Mm.
like the strong woman in the relationship, and then like the man who kind of feels emasculated by the fact that she has the job and she does more than him, and she cleans the house
Yeah.
and she takes care of the kids and she's bringing in the money and all this stuff, right? And they have the strongest relationship out of anyone else in the TV show, but there's also this slight feeling of like him feeling
Sure.
emasculated and that sort of thing, that trope in
Yeah.
TV shows. But then, you know, the guy does one heroic thing and it fixes the whole relationship because he feels good about himself and she's able to congratulate him, blah, blah, blah. That's how I felt when I climbed the tree.
You did.
I was like, I am the hero.
You
And I've
absolutely
finally
were.
proven to Aaron that I'm worth dating. I was the emasculated man. I was the emasculated man.
Oh my
And I
God,
finally
no.
proved to you that I can save you too.
You did save these. You saved the whole night.
I did.
That was excellent.
And
That was
after that, I was like,
incredible.
you know what? I even thought to myself, I was like, did Aaron purposely forget the keys so that I would feel better about myself? Because that's something that he would do.
I did not plan that. I didn't go, if I forget the keys, she'll climb the tree.
Because I think you might give me little wins from time to time.
I did not give you that at all. I was actively trying to stop you from doing that. I thought that was, when you suggested the idea of the tree, I was literally like, oh God, Sophia, stop. Don't do that. Then you did it.
Sometimes I just got to go with my gut. There's some days where I think to myself, wow, Aaron's so much smarter than me. I might as well not try. But then I think to myself, you know what, Soph? You're okay. You can do it.
You
And
did
then I
it.
have a hero moment, and then our relationship is fine, and then I'm not depressed for like a day, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But
Stay tuned to next week.
stay tuned.
Huh. And we're in an hour.
Okay. Well, I gotta pee so badly.
So bad. We didn't even get to talk about Lizzo.
Should we just really quick wrap it up with that?
Sure. Why not?
I mean, we all know what happened.
Yeah. There's
She
not.
put
I feel
a
like
banana in a vagina and made
she
her
put a-
dancers suck it.
I think she started putting banana in people's pussies and then made her friends eat it. Like,
Do you ever think of something so uncomfortable that your
or no.
genitals clench?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think about now when I think about.
That. Although I will say,
But like you can't not visualize it.
sure, that specifically. Although I think, to clarify, I don't think she was doing the
No, she was.
insertion. They were like at strip clubs.
She was like, yeah, suck on her titty.
And they were going to strip clubs. She was like to her employees, which is like, I mean, my initial inclination isn't like, oh, Liz was probably running the tightest ship, you know?
Like that's not great, but like would other bosses probably do that?
Like Led Zeppelin had like a 14-year-old sex life.
What do you mean? Like he was 14 or like
They had a 14-year-old girl,
sex life?
like a groupie that they kept in like basements and stuff. Led Zeppelin, yeah, they're freaks.
Well, they're canceled. No, I do think it's like, I do think it's wrong, but I think that
Yeah, it's
people
wild.
are being particularly harsh because it's Lizzo.
Because I think like the headline, because the headline
No, you're right.
of racist fat shaming Lizzo, that's
You're
a
like,
crazy
what?
headline. You're like,
I gotta click on that.
if you told me in 2016 that the way, you know, like cancel culture progresses,
But cancel
that-
culture is fake. Like it's like
But
you're
if-
not actually canceling people who are seriously. I mean, that is harm, and that's wrong that she's doing that, and she should be
course.
reprimanded for
Yeah,
that and put in
definitely.
check. Like that's fucked
Without
up.
a doubt.
But like,
You can't
we can't pick and choose who we're about to cancel.
we do not condone putting bananas in people's pussies. Don't do it. Unless you like it, I guess. But don't have other people do it.
I'm not a big like food person during sex. Like I like to keep that stuff separate.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I don't like anything. I'm not a big insertion person,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe it's just because I'm too vanilla for Lizzo. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps. I don't know. But yeah, I would not have expected
But also, I'm like,
that this is where it ends. Not
like
ends.
that's crazy. But it's like you're also at a strip club with your boss. Like that's also crazy.
Yeah,
Not
I get.
on them,
I
but
think
it's
she was
just a crazy environment.
right. That is a crazy.
It's just like
I
you
think.
really want to spice things up tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying that that's crazy.
Yeah, I think so. I think she was pressuring people who were like not comfortable.
She was favoriting people who went to the strip club with her.
Got it.
I read that
And
on
eating,
Daily Mail.
and eating the pussy bananas.
Everything is alleged
But yeah. I'm just saying, like,
that I say.
yeah, nothing is right. If anyone thinks that this is where you should be getting your
Historical accuracy.
yeah, no, we read Daily Mail and witch TikTok. That's it. But
Bruja TikTok.
seriously, just
And
insane.
I don't understand half of the words that they're saying because I'm still learning Spanish.
So true.
That's where I get my information from.
So true.
No, yeah, it's just crazy.
Just be like, Aaron, ghosts flew a plane into the World Trade Center.
That's fucked that we're laughing.
Sorry. But yeah, insane. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly did not really read about the Lizzo thing, but
I think people are just really quick to be like, fuck Lizzo.
yeah.
Like, I
What's-
saw this meme that was really awful, and it was like this guy jumping up and down being happy, and it was like
Why?
me when I have another reason to hate Lizzo now aside from the fact that she's 600 pounds.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And I was like, I really gotta get off of
Holy
toxic masculine
crap.
TikTok.
That's insane.
It's evil.
That's insane. Yeah, no,
And then I did also see something today. This made me laugh. And it was like, you know, you realize that you always want to be around your partner and do nothing because, you know, that one person is worth so much more than the non-committal friendships and past relationships that you've had. And it's okay you'd rather just sit around and do nothing with them than go out and do party culture. And I saw it and I was like, wow, like, this is so romantic. Like, I really feel this way about Aaron, and I'm gonna send him this TikTok. And then I looked at it, and it was a guy lifting in the background. And I was like, I need to stop.
your For You page,
When is too much is too much.
TikTok thinks you are a 32-year-old single man. That's what they think.
Or like a 32-year-old like yogi.
Yeah, one or the other. Either way, wild take.
But no matter what, I'm 32
Yeah.
in this situation.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I was saying to my coworker today, like, I really think I'm going to thrive in my 30s.
I agree. Because I think you have sort of like the relationship that you have is sort of that maturity level. You're also just emotionally of that maturity level. I think like, whoa. I think that when other people start catching up to you, for free.
Crazy. Not the first time you would have seen.
It'll
my
help
boobs
with
on this
engagement. Just undo another one, perhaps. We'll zoom in.
My boobs have actually, I just wanted to update you guys. They've gotten a little smaller. And they don't feel like I have bowling balls holding me down every day. So
Fantastic.
I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, we
that I'm
wanted
doing
to.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna end on that note. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I mean, just thoughts and prayers for everyone out there.
Yeah, and don't put the banana in the pussy.
Clearly, that's a bad idea. But unless you want to do that and there's like consent between both parties, but and like if there's a third party participating, then ask their consent as well. I think that's the true message here. And be nice to your employees. People are so mean.
Yeah, be a good employer.
Don't bully people.
Anything else?
Yeah. FIFA fofo, bitch.